A manager of a hotel in Pretoria recorded the number of guests sitting down for breakfast, lunch, and supper. So we're looking at three different events again. So there's breakfast, there's lunch, and then there's also what supper on a particular date of 300 guests. So our sample space, we can already come and tell them, okay, we know what is SN again. Our SN is going to be equal to what, to 300. They say 29 did not arrive for any of the 3 meals again. So where should I put 29? So I'm going to put 29 here. Again. 29, it's outside. And then we can then come and say, okay, each circle is going to represent an event. So we have breakfast, which is going to be represented by B. We have lunch, which is going to be represented by L. And then we have supper, which is going to be represented by what? By S. And then from there onwards, they say 153 we ate breakfast again. So we can then say the whole of the rate, this thing, all in all, is going to give us what? 153 again. Okay. 161 we ate lunch again. So the whole of the green, if you consider everything on green, it's 163. Ne? 161. And then what else are we told? We are told with 45 for at supper. They didn't say at supper only, they said at supper. Okay? So we're going to say all in all, the supper is this one. So this one, they're supposed to be what to be? 41. 145. Okay, it's 145. 145 for at supper. Okay, then they say the end part, we're not going to start with the end. So they say, which we have 95 who were at breakfast and lunch. So forget about this one. We'll come back to it. Unless they said only, well, if it was only you can always put them there because there's a specific space that represents only. And then 80 were at lunch and supper. So there's no only. Okay? So we leave that one also. 52 were at supper, but did not arrive for the other 2 meals. So this one is like they were at supper only. You see that one again? So 52 were at supper only. Because they were at supper, but they didn't arrive for the other 2. You know? So we can always go and put that one, supper only. So 52, supper only is this part again. So we'll come and put, okay, 52 were at supper only. And then they say 70 were at all 3 meals. That's where we are going to start. See? So let's start in the middle. How many of them ate all? It's 70. Okay? So we put 70 here. And then after that, we can go to the end. Then let's go to the different ends. The first end that we have, it says 95 were at breakfast and lunch. Okay? Breakfast and lunch, all in all, how many do we have for breakfast and lunch? Remember, what is breakfast and lunch? Breakfast and lunch is this whole thing here. Okay? All in all, how many are they? They're 95. Okay? You've already counted 70 of them. Okay? All in all, they're 95. Okay? How many have you counted already? You already counted 70 of them. So how many were at break and lunch only then? That's the question then. How many were at breakfast and lunch only? So this is going to be what? 25. Agree all in all, Kiabets, yeah. This, it's breakfast and lunch. All in all, they're supposed to be 95. This whole thing here, it's supposed to be 95. All in all, okay? But because you've already counted 70 of them, you can't count them again. The 70 that you've already counted, you can't count them again. So we're going to say, but now, if I say 70 plus 25, it's going to give me what? The 95 that they're talking about. So all in all, you're going to have 95 people who were at breakfast and lunch. And then you should differentiate this one, because they could have said breakfast and lunch only. If they say breakfast and lunch only, it means they were talking about this part only. They were talking this part whereby we put 25. Yeah, but this part, this is breakfast and lunch only, this part here. But if I say just breakfast and lunch, I mean this whole thing here, starting from here up until you get there. Does it make sense? Okay, let's go and check there. They say, how many? 80 people were at lunch and supper. Okay? 80 were at lunch and supper. No? So we can come and say, okay, we have lunch and then we also have supper. Lunch and supper, it starts from here. Where does it end? It ends here again. Lunch and supper, all in all, how many? It's 8. Ne? How many have you counted already? We've already counted 7. How many can I still add here? I can still add how many? 10. Does it make sense, but are we still fine? Okay, now we can then see. After that, what then happens is this. Again, now we have on when we look at the breakfast, look at the breakfast again. At the breakfast, all in all, they're supposed to be 153 again. We know this one, we know this one, we don't know what is this one, we don't know what is this one. So we have 2 unknowns. So let's leave that for now because we have 2 unknowns. Let's leave that for now. But let's come back to this one. On this one, we have this one, we have this one, also we have this one, but we don't know what is this one old again. On the supper, which is the yellow, if we just concentrate on the yellow, we know this one, we know this one, we also know this one, but this one we know, this one we know, this one we know, we don't know this one again. But all in all, we know which all of them, they're supposed to give us what? 145 again. So it means, in other words, I can say 145 minus 70 again. Minus 52 again. Minus what? 10. What do I get? 13. Are you sure? Are you getting 13? So here we come and put, okay, here we have 1, 3. So what is this people, which is 13? 13 is people who were at breakfast and supper only. Does it make sense, again? So we are saying, remember, once you have 3 things, you can get the 4th one again. Once you have 3 things, you can get the 4th one. Let's come and check here. We have 1, we have 2, we have 3, and then we don't know the 4th one again. But all in all, how many do we have as the green one? How many do we have as the green one? How many do we have as the green one? 161 again. So if we want to get this one, which is going to be, they were at lunch only. How do we get at lunch only? We're going to say 161 minus 25 again. Minus 7 again. Minus 10. So how many were at lunch only? This one is going to be what? To be 56. Are we still fine? Okay, now let's look at this breakfast only. We want breakfast only again. We know this one, we know this one, we know this one, but we don't know this one. But we can definitely get this one again. We say 153, ne? Minus 25, ne? Minus 70, ne? Minus 13. What do we get as breakfast only? So this one, it's going to be what? To be 45. And then you can see our Venn diagram now is what? It's complete. So our Venn diagram now is going to be what? To be complete. Let's go and answer the questions then. Calculate the probability that a guest chosen at random will have been at both breakfast and lunch, but not supper. So what are they looking for here? We are looking for someone to be at breakfast and lunch, okay? But not supper. So let's go and look at B and L. So we want to look at B and L. How many were at B and L, but they were not? There are 25, okay? So it's going to be the probability of that one, it's going to be 25, okay? So we have 25 all over. How many do we have in total? 300. What is going to be 25 all over 300? 1 all over? 1 all over 12. We can leave it like this, okay? Or we can write it as a decimal, it doesn't match. Okay, let's go to the next one, number 2. Probability that the person being at both breakfast and lunch. The person is both at breakfast and lunch, okay? How many people were at both breakfast and lunch? Is 95, okay? So you should differentiate between this 25 and what? And 95. Breakfast and lunch. So we're going to have 95 all over what? All over 300. And what you get for that one is what? 19 all over 60. Okay. Would have been at breakfast only. Let's come and check breakfast only. How many are at breakfast only? So it's going to be what to be? 45, okay? All over 300. Eh? And then what you get as your answer here is 3 all over 20. Eh? And then you get 1 mark here, you get 1 mark here, and then you also get 1 mark here. Been at 1 or more would have been at 1 again or more. So they could have put this thing like this. They could have said which at least 1, which they were at least at 1 of the meals. So at least 1 or more. So which ones are we not going to include? So this one is 1 again. We accept 1 again. We accept this one also as 1. Also accept this one as 1 as 1. Or more. We can also accept this one as 2 again. We can accept this one as 2. We can also accept this one as 1 as 2. And then we can also accept this one as 1 as 3. So the probability that a person would have been at 1 or more. So we take the 1, we take the 2, and then we also take the 1, then the 3. So what is going to be the probability of that? You can do it this way. You can say, okay, 300 minus the ones which are not participating, which is 29 again. So what do you get? It's 271 all over 300 again. And then what do you get for that? If you simplify this one, what do you get? Huh? 87. 0.90. Okay, let's do activity number 9 then.